What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about how you can increase your conversion rate by using user testing as your main sort of data-driven approach to get a higher conversion rate. And this is really, really effective because when you user test, you can see the natural flow of how somebody goes through your e-commerce store. You can ask them to think out loud and talk about the experience and what they're doing when they go through the website and the purchase experience. So you get super, super valuable data. If you do this enough, you'll be able to find tons and tons of ways to come up with ideas for new A/B tests that are actually rooted in user experiences of real people. What I really like about Userbrain as well is that I can say I want a mobile user, or I want someone from this country, or I want someone in this age group. And so I can really test it on audiences that I want to target, maybe through ads, or maybe that I know is specifically interested in my product. I can also do this if I found out through my data research that I'm not converting really well for people above 45 years old. And I could ask those people to go through the website, and that way I get super, super valuable feedback on how to increase conversion rate for those people. So let's dive into it. As you can see, I'm on Userbrain, which is just one of many different services you can use in order to perform these user tests. So we'll dive into an example so you can see how it's being used. Basically, when you go into Userbrain, I'm just going to log into my account. You can see we set this up for tons of different companies. You can create a new test here, and you buy credits, and every credit is worth one user that can test on your site. So if I wanted to set up a new test, I would just create here, and I would go either a mobile, a prototype, or a website. Really cool about prototypes is that if you're looking at a new design, let's say you're going with 10 different designs you want to test out, you could ask users to rate those different designs, and you could create that all in Figma. So let's say one product page versus another product page, and you can ask people to vote which page they like better, and that will give you some pretty good data before you go live with an A/B test on the likelihood of it beating the existing one. So extremely valuable. But for this test, we're going to go website, and you're just going to put in your test name. So whatever that could be website test of website first experience, conversion, leaks, whatever. That's what I could call it. Basically, this test could be set up so I can get people's first impression on the website when they land there, what they think, what are their first thoughts. And then I'm going to ask them specific questions on the product page, cart, and checkout page to see if they have any issues. What I love about this is that I get so many things I never thought about because I'm asking normal people to rate it and not me, who has been in the conversion rate space for years. So I get a lot of really good feedback. The more you test, the better you can trust your data. So obviously the more users, the better. But there's also a budget here, so small businesses are not going to be able to do it. So if I want to add in a website, I can just put whatever I want in here, and then basically I can start testing. So that's pretty easy. Language, obviously you have 3 to pick on here. The length of the session will have to be between 5 to 20 minutes by default, so that's usually enough for most. In here you can go by different templates that they already create for you. So if you're in the e-commerce space, you can click e-commerce here, and it will go and get you some templates that can be quite useful, but you can also create them from scratch. I'm going to show you a template I created for a company that sells coating for cars, and you can see that I set it up here. But you can use anything you really want, right? But what I like about this one is that I'm asking people to rate, and this is one thing I do when I get new clients, is I ask users to go to the website. So I'll ask them stuff like this. When they land on the homepage, what is the first thing you notice? What can you do on this site? What products are offered? And who is this intended for? Why is this important? A lot of homepages are poorly optimized, and it catches a lot of traffic, but basically they assume you know the product super well, which is just not the case a lot of times. And so you probably have a lot to work on here. So let me show an example of that. I'm going to go over to a recording we got from a potential visitor here. This is a guy we paid. He's 41 years old. He's from the United States. And basically, he talks out loud.
So remember to think out loud during my test and tell you if there's any information missing. I can input fake information if I need to sign up for anything. Now take a look at the site and tell you what I think it is. I can scroll if I want, but don't click on anything yet. I can close pop-ups after reading them. What's the first thing I notice? What can I do?
So basically what he's doing here is he is reading my task for the first assignment, which is to land on the homepage and tell us what he thinks, what is it the company is selling, what can you do on this website, who is this intended for. The reason why I'm asking this question is I want to be sure that the homepage does its main job, which is to quickly explain who it is, what are we selling, what is this product, and get them to the next step. So this is what I'm hoping he can do, but let's see here.
products or services are offered and who's it for. So this is some type of paint protection site. And basically,
look at this. This is a classic example of a bad homepage that doesn't explain the product easily. The name doesn't make any sense when it comes to the product because this is a coating product that you use if you want to have ceramic coating on your car and so forth. But it's not easy to understand, and a lot of people are just like not really sure where they landed. This is really, really bad, and this is something that can be fixed quite easily if you restructure the design on the homepage. But this is just a classic example of how these tests are so useful because this data is hard to get unless you interact with them on a user per user basis. So he browses through the website and he goes a little bit further down the line. Once he's completed the task, he will say, yes, I completed the task, and then he'll proceed to the next step. The next step is to look through the website in a deeper level, where we asked him questions like, does this site seem trustworthy? Do you have a good understanding of the products? Was there something you expected to see but you didn't see, and so forth? So we're going a bit deeper here. We want to see what their impression is on the website, if something stands out, if there's any conversion leaks, and so forth. And so that's the step here. Go back to our template. You can see that we had the first question up here. Then the second question is, that's the step he's on right now. And then further down, we even ask him, imagine that the products and services of the site are intended for you. Now add the product you liked after going through the product page to the cart. Did the next step of the process seem obvious to you? Why? Do you have any doubts that you wanted to clear before or after reaching this stage? And so this is a really good way for us to understand if there's problems in the checkout flow and the cart flow, if something is weird about that. Actually buying the product, which is essential to any business. And then we have another question on the checkout where we asked them if they have any doubts they want to clear before reaching this stage. This is an excellent question to ask because if you're not 100% an expert on the product, he might say like, I'm not sure if this works for my car or if I'm able to do it myself. And these are all amazing data points we can use to optimize the product page or the checkout experience. So again, super, super useful. And then in the end, we asked them to rate the overall experience of the website from 1 to 5. And this is just to get a little bit of an indication on where we are right now. You could definitely add in more questions, like what are specifically areas that actually we have it here because I was not really sure if we had it. This one is really, really good. And you could also ask that as a final question if you want to put more focus on that because it's going to give you a lot of good insights. So sometimes I like to just put that here because the rating here is useful, but it's not as useful as the data you'll get here as well. So basically, guys, that's how you set it up. And when you go into Userbrain, I'm not affiliated with them, by the way, in any way. You can buy credits. And when you buy credits, it's a little bit expensive depending on how big you are. This is extremely valuable. So buy 10 credits, just buy the lowest package, and then basically start testing. Start with what I just showed you here. Just copy paste the questions and get valuable feedback. Probably you will learn that you need to change your homepage. Probably you will learn that there are some worries, some questions you're not answering, and probably you will learn there's something in your cart and checkout that needs to be improved. So anyway, guys, this is just one way we use this to optimize our website for our clients. We get massive spikes in conversion rate. If you don't like Userbrain, there's Usability Hub as well. There's tons of other ones. So like really you can go with anything you want. But I just wanted you to see that there's so much you can do with user testing. It's a great method for getting higher conversion rate. And I definitely implore you to try it out because, use data and you're going to get great results. So anyway, please like and subscribe if you saw this on YouTube. And if this was a podcast, please do subscribe there as well because I put out new videos almost every single day. So it just helps the channel to grow. And I put a lot of effort into this. So really appreciate it. Anyway, talk soon.